I'm a woman, 31, and I live alone in a small house I bought 2 years ago. First real grown up purchase of my life, the kind of thing I was still a little proud of every time I pulled into the driveway. Mentioning it makes what happened feel worse in hindsight. That house was supposed to be the safest place I owned. It started so small I didn't even register it at the start. My internet went out on a Tuesday evening, which happens, so I called the provider, sat on hold, and a technician came out 2 days later and found a cut line at the box outside. Animal damage, he said. Squirrels chew through cable all the time. I believed him completely. Why wouldn't I? A week later, my cell service dropped to no signal for almost 6 hours in the middle of the day, in a spot where I never had a problem before. I drove to a different part of town and it came back instantly. I told myself it was a tower issue, a maintenance thing, nothing about me specifically. Then my mail stopped coming for 4 days straight. I checked with my mail carrier, who told me, a little confused herself, that someone had submitted a hold request online for my address. I hadn't done that. I called and canceled it, assumed it was some kind of mix-up or scam attempt, and didn't think much more about it. I want to be honest that none of these, on their own, felt like anything. It's only looking back that I can see them lining up. The thing that actually scared me happened about 3 weeks later. I came home from work to find my power out. Not flickering, not browning, just completely dead, breaker box and all. I called the utility company and they told me, politely but firmly, that according to their records, service had been voluntarily disconnected at my address that afternoon. I hadn't called anyone. I hadn't requested anything. It took almost 2 hours on the phone, escalating through 3 different people before someone finally agreed to send a technician the next morning to restore it. They treated the whole thing like a clerical error rather than something that should worry me. I started keeping a log on my phone after that, every weird thing, with dates, because I needed to see if I was imagining a pattern, if there actually was one. There was. About a month in, I noticed my car wouldn't start one morning, completely dead despite having driven it the night before without any issue. The mechanic who came out found a cable loosened just enough to lose contact, not snapped, not damaged, loosened, like someone had needed it disconnected for a while and then mostly put it back. I called the police at that point, for the first time, and explained everything as calmly as I could. The officer who took the report was kind but clearly skeptical. Nothing that had technically been broken into, nothing stolen, no direct threat made. He told me to keep documenting things and call back if anything escalated. It escalated within the week. I woke up one morning to find I'd been logged out of every account I use regularly. Email, banking, even my work login, each one telling me my password had been changed the night before. I spent the entire day on hold with different companies, providing my identity over and over, watching my actual life get handed back to me in pieces while some calm voice on each call assured me this kind of thing happens sometimes. I don't remember exactly when it hit me this wasn't random. I remember sitting on my kitchen floor at some point that week, bone dead again despite a full charge that morning. The house was silent in that specific way a house is silent when none of its systems are actually working. Just feeling very clearly that someone was taking me apart, one wire at a time, and waiting to see how long it would take me to notice the shape of what was happening. I packed a bag and went to a friend's apartment across town that same night. I didn't tell my neighbors, I didn't post anything anywhere, I told almost no one where I'd gone. It was at my friend's place 3 days later, going through old emails trying to find anything that explained any of it, that I found a message in my spam folder from months earlier. Sent that week, I'd had a falling out with a man I dated briefly there before, someone I'd stopped responding to after he wouldn't accept that I'd ended things. The email had no real content, just a single line, "You'll see how it feels when no one can find you." I'd seen it, apparently back when it first arrived, and dismissed it as nothing worth a second thought. I don't remember reading it, I don't remember deleting it from my main inbox either, though it must have ended up in spam somehow. I gave the police that email along with everything else. They told me they'd look into it. I still don't know, as of right now, whether anything has actually been done. I'm back in my house now, mostly because I couldn't afford to be anywhere else indefinitely. Everything works again. Power, internet accounts, all restored, all apparently normal. 2 nights ago, my doorbell camera, which I had reinstalled myself with a password only I know, sent me a single notification at 2 a.m. No motion alert before it, no person visible in the frame. Just one line of text. Connection temporarily lost. It reconnected on its own for 4 minutes later like nothing had happened at all. I haven't been able to make myself check what those 4 minutes might have recorded, if it had recorded anything at all. I'm a man, 34, and I want to say up front that I'm not someone who scares easily. I've never believed in ghosts, I've never had a panic attack in my life, and up until about 6 months ago, I would have told you the scariest thing that could happen to a person is something physical. An accident, an illness, something with a body count. I don't believe that anymore. I dated a woman named, I'll just call her R, because I don't want to use a real name for this, for almost 2 years before things ended. The breakup wasn't dramatic at first. There were no screaming matches, no thrown objects, just a slow, mutual feeling decision that turned out to be a lot more mutual on my end than hers. I found that out the hard way over the months that followed. The first thing I noticed was small enough that I genuinely laughed about it with a friend. A coworker mentioned in passing that he liked the post I'd put up over the weekend about a hiking trip. I hadn't posted anything about a hiking trip. I hadn't gone on one. I checked my own social account and found a post dated 3 days earlier with photos of a trail I'd never been on. In my voice, with details about my life woven through it convincingly enough that I had to read it twice to be sure, and I hadn't somehow forgotten posting it myself. I deleted it, changed my password, and told myself someone hacked the account for some petty reason. People do that. It happens. It kept happening. A comment here, a post there, always plausible, always close enough to my actual life that anyone scrolling past wouldn't blink. A photo from an event I actually had attended, posted with a caption I never wrote. A message sent to an old friend in my name that friend later mentioned to me casually as if we'd already talked about it. I changed my passwords 4 separate times that month. Each time, within a week or two, something else would surface. The thing that actually scared me happened when my sister called, upset, asking why I texted her something cold and dismissive about missing our dad's birthday dinner. A message I never sent from my actual phone number, which meant whoever was doing this no longer needed my accounts. They had my number itself somehow, routed or spoofed or cloned. I still don't fully understand the mechanics of it. I went to the police at that point. They took a report, told me identity-based harassment cases are notoriously hard to act on without a clear digital trail tying back to one person, and suggested I document everything and come back if it got worse. It got worse within 2 weeks. People started telling me, with a strange, careful gentleness, that I'd seemed off lately. Distant in conversations I didn't remember having, rude exchanges I had no memory of. A friend mentioned I canceled plans over text in a tone that wasn't like me. My own mother asked, hesitant, if everything was okay because I'd apparently called her the week before sounding strange, talking about things that didn't make sense, and hung up abruptly. I hadn't called her at all that week. I don't remember exactly when I started to feel like the actual danger wasn't any single message or post, but the slow, cumulative effect of all of it together. That everyone around me was quietly building a picture of someone unstable, someone unreliable, and that person had my name, and my face, and my voice, while the actual me was somehow becoming the one who looked unbelievable every time I tried to explain what was happening. I started screenshotting everything, timestamping it, building my own file the way you'd build a case, because some part of me had started to understand I might eventually need to prove who I actually was. About 2 months into all of this, I got a message from a number I didn't recognize. No name attached, just a single line. It's almost like you were never really you to begin with. I never confirmed it was R. I want to be honest about that because I think it matters. I have no direct proof, nothing that would hold up to anyone official, just a feeling I can't fully separate from suspicion at this point, and a pattern that started exactly when things ended between us and has never once let up since. I moved apartments 2 months ago and didn't tell most people where. I kept my new address off everything I could think of. Last week, an old coworker reached out, friendly, casual, mentioning he'd seen my new place online and that it looked nice. I asked him what he meant. He sent me a screenshot from an account that wasn't one I run, showing photos of an apartment I recognized immediately as my own, posted 4 days after I moved in. I haven't told him or anyone else that the account isn't mine. I'm starting to wonder if saying that out loud again is going to do anything except prove, once more, exactly what they've been telling everyone about me the whole time.